My child, in a world growing ever more chaotic between truth and falsehood, between light and darkness, I am raising up a generation that does not bow to fear, does not yield to pressure, and does not compromise with the lies that surround them. This generation is not formed by human power, nor nurtured by fleeting ideals of this world, but by the power of my Holy Spirit and the resurrection life that flows from my glorious throne. And you, my beloved child, are a chosen part of that people, a generation destined to proclaim truth, to stand firm in faith, and to shine like the stars in the deep night of humanity. I did not call you because you were strong by human standards. I did not choose you because you were flawless, without failure or wound. I have seen the tears you've shed in secret, the dark nights you've battled with doubt and loneliness, the moments you wanted to give up because you felt too small, too weak, too ordinary. But I say this to you, it is you, in the midst of all that brokenness, whom I have chosen. For in your weakness, my power is made perfect. In the places where you thought you could no longer stand, I will lift you up and set your feet upon solid rock. You are not called to hide, but to rise. You were not created to be silent, but to raise your voice in the midst of chaos. You are not the product of chance, but a part of my eternal plan. I have anointed you, not so you can live for yourself, but so that you may become a light in the darkness, not a fragile light that the winds of life can extinguish, but a light that shines from my very presence, a light that cannot be put out, cannot be hidden, and cannot be replaced. You will be a beacon of hope for souls lost on the vast seas of life, a bearer of true light to those blinded by deception. I know this world will try to discourage you. It will mock you, attack you, even try to extinguish the flame I have placed within you. But my child, do not be afraid. You do not walk alone. I am with you, going before you, and holding you in the palm of my mighty hand. Every scheme of the enemy will be rendered powerless before a soul that listens to my voice and walks in obedience. I have placed my voice within you so that you may be a cry in the barren wilderness of this generation. The world is starving for truth. People are weary of sugar-coated lies, empty promises, and illusions that do not lead to life. I need a generation that will not bow to the culture of the crowd, that will not follow the call of comfort, but that will stand firm in truth, even if they must stand alone. I need hearts like yours, those who know who called them, who understand why they exist, and who know to whom they belong. Do not measure yourself by your past. Do not look at your mistakes and think I cannot use you. For where the world sees failure, I see an opportunity to reveal my glory. The very wounds you carry will become the places from which healing flows for others. You are part of a holy army, not one that bears physical swords, but one that carries the power to transform hearts and spirits. Every act of obedience, every word spoken from a heart filled with my spirit, becomes a mighty weapon to defeat darkness. The world may not understand you. People may reject you, but heaven acknowledges you. The angels rejoice when they see you rise for my name. And I, who created all things and understand every weakness in your heart, am walking with you day by day. I do not call you to rely on your own strength. I give you my spirit to do what you cannot do alone. You will witness wonders. You will see lives renewed, chains broken, blind eyes opened, simply because you dared to believe, dared to obey, and dared to walk forward. And when you feel too small in the face of a world too vast, remember this: a single light is still enough to break the darkness. A single word of truth can still awaken a soul. A heart that reveres me can still shake the kingdom of darkness. I do not need you to be perfect. I need you to be willing. I do not require you to have all the answers. I need you to listen and to walk by faith. For you were not made to blend into the world, but to influence and transform it through my light that lives in you. O my child, rise. Be silent no longer. Do not let fear hold you back. Do not allow the voices of the world to drown out my call. The time is now. The ground on which you stand is not by accident. The people you will encounter are not by chance. All has been carefully written into my plan. And in that plan, you are a vital link. Do not underestimate the influence of a soul that lives for my glory. The world is in desperate need of light, and I have chosen you to carry that light. Keep walking forward, and as you do, all of heaven rejoices for you. My beloved child, are finally living in the purpose for which you were created. My child, a new season is dawning upon your soul, a time when your eyes will no longer be limited to outward appearances, but will pierce through to the hidden pain behind every face, every glance, every silent sigh. I have not only opened your eyes to see more clearly, but I have given you a new heart, a heart that is not hardened to the sufferings of others, not indifferent to the lostness and brokenness surrounding you. You will love with a love not born of the flesh, but from me, the one who is love, the one who once stretched out his arms on the cross to redeem the souls who were wandering astray. And when you love as I love, the world will know that there is one who lives and moves within you. You will no longer walk with vacant eyes amidst the hurried crowds, no longer pass by the fallen lives cast aside by the world. The new eyes I have given you will see what the world cannot see, souls crying out in silence, shattered hearts longing for a touch from heaven. You will see the ones society deems worthless, failures, forgotten, and compassion will rise up within you, not because you are good, but because I have placed my own heart within you. I will cause your heart to be heavy, not with aimless sorrow, but with the burden I carry for humanity. That burden will not crush you, but will propel you into intercession, into action, into a tireless devotion. My child, the love I give you is not a fleeting feeling, but a steady force that will transform the world. That love will cause you to stop in the chaos to hear the cry of a soul screaming in silence. That love will cause you to kneel by a hospital bed and wipe the tears of the dying. That love will cause you to open your home to the homeless, to share your last piece of bread with the hungry. And in those small acts, you will begin to see that I am doing great things. In quiet moments, you will touch the deepest wounds of humanity with hands warmed by my presence. You will intercede not out of duty, but because your heart cannot rest while others sink into darkness. You will lift up cries to me each night, not to prove anything, but because your heart has become one with mine. You will weep not out of weakness, but because you are feeling what I feel, a sacred sorrow for a world that has lost its way. And yet, you will rejoice, because every tear you sow will bring forth a mighty harvest. I did not call you to only weep. I called you to work, to walk, to fight, and to bring souls home. The harvest is near. My child, the fields are golden and ripe. Souls are waiting to be saved. And I am sending you not because you are qualified, but because you are willing. You are not going alone, I go before you, and my spirit is within you. Every step you take will have meaning. Every word you speak in my anointing will reach places no one else can. Do not think your prayers are small. Do not think your hidden service is invisible. In heaven, Everything done in love is recorded. And you, my beloved child, are an irreplaceable part of the harvest I ordained before time began. You will no longer live for yourself. Your small plans will give way to my eternal purposes. You will find yourself unable to return to a life centered on self, because once you have seen what I have shown you, once you have felt what I have let you feel, you can no longer remain unmoved. You will live with a deep yearning to see souls return. Sinner Savid, the blind restored, the fallen lifted, and the parched made new. And I promise you this, there will be joy. There will be moments of weariness, of loneliness, perhaps even rejection, but there will also be moments when heaven opens, and you witness things that words cannot describe. A loved one you prayed for over many years returns. A hardened heart suddenly melts in my presence. Eyes once clouded with despair now shine with hope. And in that moment, you will understand why I called you, why I gave you new eyes, why I placed my heart within you because of love. I am training you, preparing you, and now I am sending you. Do not look at your limitations. Look at the one who called you. Do not fear the challenges ahead, for I am walking with you. Carry with you a heart full of love, eyes full of light, and a spirit full of hope. You are not going on errands for heaven. You are going to bring back precious souls, to take part in the great plan of my love for mankind. And in every step you take, I am there watching, supporting, and rejoicing. For you, my beloved child, have chosen not to live for yourself, but for the love that never fades. My child, pause for a moment amid the whirlwind of life, and listen closely to my voice, for I am speaking to you even now. Not through the loud echoes of the world, nor through the shallow noises of human clamor, but in the stillness of your soul when you lift your eyes. I am calling you to step out from the familiar and into the journey I have prepared. I do not speak to fill your mind with information, but to touch your heart with life. My voice is gentle, yet powerful, soft, yet resolute, because I do not want you to miss the sacred moment I have ordained just for you. I am calling you to walk in my ways, a path not easy, to but sûr, leading to life, peace, and complete restoration. This path is not marked by the maps of the world, but by the guidance of my spirit. It is not a road of human logic, but a journey of faith, where you must learn to trust without seeing, to walk without full understanding, and to obey even when questions linger. But I say to you, if you dare to place my hand in yours and follow, you will be led into healing so deep, no earthly thing could ever give it. I am not just calling you to walk, I am inviting you to unite your heart with mine. You have tried many times to understand me with your mind, but I want you to know me with your heart. When your heart becomes one with mine, our heartbeats will synchronize. You will feel what I feel, see what I see, and follow what brings me joy. This is not a forced surrender, but a sweet union between Creator and beloved child. When your heart melts into mine, you will resist no more, doubt no more, flee no more. You will realize there is no safer place on earth than in the heart of the one who formed you with everlasting love. The healing I promise you is not some vague concept in a distant future, nor a prize for the flawless. No, my child, that healing is a gift for now, real, near, and vibrant, waiting for you to receive it. But this gift cannot enter where old wounds are still clutched, where bitterness still simmers, where unnamed fears still linger. I need you to open your heart, to humble yourself, to let go of control, and to trust that I truly can and will heal you, not just in body, but in the deepest places of your soul where blood once flowed from the words, betrayals, and disappointments that have piled up. The time is no longer tomorrow. My child, the time is now. The sacred moment does not come when everything is perfect, but when you are willing to walk in surrender. I do not require you to understand everything. I only ask you to believe. Faith is not a fleeting emotion, but a decision to place your whole life in my hands, trusting that though the world may shake, I remain unshakable. When you obey, when you choose to believe, when you surrender fully, the door of healing will open, not by your might, but by my living power, walking with me. My child is never a journey of loneliness. I myself go before you, prepare the path ahead of you, and accompany you with each step you take. In moments when your heart is weak, I will be your strength. When you stray, I will call you back to me. And every time you fall, I will not scold you, but extend my hand to lift you up. You will come to learn that obedience is not the loss of freedom, but the discovery of true freedom within the embrace of my love. You will realize that to trust is not to be blind, but to choose to believe in the one who never breaks his promises, and to surrender is not to abandon yourself, but to allow your soul to be fully restored in my image. I do not seek perfect people, but hearts that are tender, listening, and ready to respond. I do not require you to accomplish great feats. I only ask that you take the first step in obedience. Then, each step that follows will be illuminated by my very own light. You will walk in peace, even if storms rage around you. You will feel your heart lifted by something greater than all fear, all wounds, all disappointments. That is the healing presence of me, your Father, reigning within you. My beloved child, open your heart. Believe that your time has come. Do not wait any longer. My arms are wide open, full of the tender mercy of a loving Father, ready to lead you into a new season, a season of restoration, of healing, of new life. All I ask from you is your readiness. Be ready to believe, ready to move, ready to let go, and ready to be led. For when you do, you will not only be healed, but become a vessel through which healing flows to multitudes. And that is the highest glory of obedience. Not only are you saved, but you become the bridge by which others are saved through you. O my beloved child, walk with me. Listen, trust, for this very moment is the moment I have long waited for to meet you, to embrace you, and to renew you from within. And once you walk with me, you will never be the same again, for you have entered true life. My child, I know you have long yearned for healing, longed to be set free from hidden wounds, from unnamed fears, from burdens that have weighed down your heart for years. And yes, I am the healer. I have healed. I am healing. And I will continue to renew the hearts of those who come to me in surrender and faith. But my beloved child, I want you to understand something deeper. Healing is not merely a moment when my power touches you, but a long journey sustained by each step of your obedience. I do not heal you just to make you feel better for a moment and then return to the old darkness. I heal you so that you may walk in a new life in the light, in holiness, in a life set apart for my glory. Many among my people have experienced my touch. They have wept, felt my gentle presence wash away the pain, trembled in sacred stillness, as I drew near. Yet afterward, they returned to their old ways. They followed feelings instead of truth. They stepped out of my presence and gradually drifted from the light. And sadly, my child, the healing they once received has now faded into a distant memory. Not because I forgot them, not because I withdrew my hand, but because they left the very place I called them to remain the place of obedience. True healing cannot be separated from holiness. When I heal you, I do not simply patch up what is torn, I recreate you in the image I originally intended. I give you a second chance to live in the purpose I placed within you. But to keep that healing, you must walk in righteousness. You must guard your heart from old thoughts. Shield your eyes from familiar temptations. Protect your ears from the lies that once lulled your soul to sleep. For if you return to your former path, you will once again invite back the very wounds I removed. I do not want you to live in a cycle of pain and healing, of falling and rising again in shame. I want you to live in true freedom, the kind of freedom that only comes through obedience. My child, obedience is not a burden. It is a key. It is how you remain in my presence. And where my presence is, there is life, healing, and peace beyond understanding. When you obey, you walk in a sacred shelter the enemy cannot penetrate. When you obey, you build within your heart a dwelling place for me. And when I dwell with you, every good thing I possess will overflow into your life. Obedience is not limitation, it is protection. It is not prohibition, it is the pathway to unshakable blessing. Do not take your daily choices lightly. Every decision you make either draws you closer to me or pushes you further away. And I know there will be times when you feel weary, days when your strength seems small, when old habits come knocking, when the past tries to return. But even in those moments, remember this: I am still there. I do not demand perfection, but I call for faithfulness. I do not ask you to move quickly, but to walk steadily in the right direction. You may tremble. You may stumble. You may move slowly, but if your heart remains turned toward me, if you still obey my voice, then I will always lift you up and lead you forward. My child, do not waver between light and darkness. Do not walk one step with me while the other clings to the things I have already freed you from. Old sins may call out to you, but they no longer hold power over you unless you open the door for them to return. You have been set free, washed clean, healed. Do not live as though it never happened. Be brave enough to say no to the small things that draw you away from my presence. Stay alert. Guard your heart, and let my word be the lamp that leads you each day. For in the steadfastness of obedience, you will enter ever more deeply into full healing, a healing not only for your body, but for your soul, your mind, and your future. Then you will come to realize a wondrous truth. Healing in me is not just a destination, but a way of life. You will live with a lightness, a joy without cause, a freedom nothing can steal. You will become living proof that there is a God who is alive, a God who does not just touch once and leave, but walks with you daily, renews you step by step, and makes you steadfast in his love. And from your life, streams of living water will flow to those around you. The healing you guard through obedience will become a source of life for many parched souls. My beloved child, treasure what I have given you. Live each day as a response to that healing, not in fear, but in love and deep gratitude, for I did not heal you merely for your own peace, but so that you may become a vessel of healing for a world that groans in pain. And I will be with you each day. each step until the good work I began in you is gloriously completed. My child, amid the countless prayers rising from all corners of the earth each day, I have heard your every whisper, every silent tear, every unspoken ache of your heart. I know you have cried out for healing for your body, your soul, your past, your invisible wounds. But, my child, what breaks my heart is not that you have not yet received it, but that you do not believe you already have. You wait for a sign, a feeling, a confirmation from the flesh, yet you forget that it is my word that is the most solid foundation you can stand upon. Many come to me in prayer, yet still cling to doubt. They ask, "Are you listening to me?" Lord, they think, perhaps miracles are for someone else. They feel unworthy, not good enough, not holy enough to be touched. But today, I declare to you, healing is not given based on your merit, but on my mercy and the unchanging promises of my word. If you hold on to doubt, you are building a wall that separates you from what I long to give. My beloved child, faith is not measured by your feelings. Faith does not rise and fall with your circumstances or with what your body is experiencing. Faith does not look at what is seen, but at what I have spoken for. My word is true, unchanging, and its power endures forever. When you pray, do not merely hope, believe that you have received. Believe as if it is already reality, because in eternity, every promise I have spoken is already fulfilled. If you will only believe, it will be yours. Do not judge my faithfulness by fleeting feelings. There will be days when it seems nothing has changed, mornings when the pain is still there, the worry still lingers, the wound remains. But, my child, remember, feelings are temporary. My word is eternal. You are not called to live by emotion, but by faith. And true faith will say, even though I do not yet see, I have received. Even though my body has not responded, my heart still believes. Even though my circumstances remain the same, I know the one who promised is faithful, and he never lies. I do not call you to live in doubt, for doubt drains the life from your soul. Doubt causes you to hesitate, to fear, and ultimately to shrink back from the very thing I have already given. You will be like one handed a treasure, but never daring to open it. I do not want you to live caught between hope and hesitation. I want you to step into certainty, the place where you know that if I have spoken, then nothing can stop its fulfillment. My beloved child, healing has already been given to you from the cross, the very place where my only begotten Son bore all pain, all wounds, and every curse in your place. Do not wait for another sign from heaven. The greatest and clearest sign has already been revealed when the Holy One was crucified out of love. Every healing has been fully paid for. And now I am inviting you, receive it. Believe like a child believes his Father's word. Walk as one who has already been healed. For truly, it now belongs to you. Rejoice in that healing. My child, joy does not come after you see results. Joy is the evidence of faith from the very moment you see nothing. When you rejoice because of my promise, you are proclaiming to every circumstance and to every force, my heart has believed, and I shall not be shaken. That joy will become your strength, driving away the darkness, lifting you up in your day of weakness. It will steady your heart so it does not stumble, and it will cause your feet to walk firmly, even if the winds rise, even if the storms surround. And do you know this? When you choose to believe, to walk, and to rejoice in the healing already given. You are opening the door for miracles to unfold not only in your life, but in the lives of those you touch. Your faith will become a source of inspiration for weary souls. Your joy will be a light in the darkness of others. And most wondrous of all, through your steadfast trust, my name will be glorified, my beloved child. Today I speak to you once again. Cast off your doubt. Place your feet upon the solid rock of my word. Do not let feelings, circumstances, or the voices of others blur the divine voice I have sown into your heart. Healing is no longer something you must wait for. It is your rightful inheritance through faith. And when you live in that awareness, you will witness a transformed life, stronger, freer, and more abundant. For I am the faithful God. I do not make promises only to forget them. I do not speak and then take my words back. If I have declared that healing is your portion, then all you need to do is open your heart, receive it, and walk forward with unshakable faith. You will not be disappointed. You will not be put to shame. For those who trust in me will see my glory overflow in their very lives. So, my child, rejoice. Lift your voice in praise. Walk as one who has been healed. And remember, faith does not need to see in order to believe, but it is that very faith that will open the way to see the wonders I have prepared for you since before time began, my beloved one. My precious child, lift up your head and raise your heart, for I have never abandoned you, not even for a moment. In your weariness, when your heart is broken, when the world around you spirals into chaos and your dreams seem to vanish, that is when I am closest, closer than your breath, closer than your thoughts. I am not watching from afar. I dwell within your very heart, waiting for you to return, waiting for you to open up so I may pour out my love and living power upon your life. Child, do not remain silent when your heart longs to cry out. Do not let exhaustion keep you from praying, nor let fear silence your voice. I do not require polished words or perfect hymns. I only ask for a sincere heart, a cry that may be weak but is true. Father, help me. Open your mouth, my child, for I long to hear your voice, not because I do not already know your need, but because I cherish the closeness when you draw near, when you choose to trust, to speak out your hope, your pain, and the deepest desires of your soul. When you pray, I believe that it is not just a voice cast into the void. No, my child, every word you speak in faith is like incense rising directly to my throne, the throne of grace, of love, and of life. Your prayers are never wasted. They are a sweet offering I delight in, an expression of living faith, of surrendered heart, of a soul that waits for me to act. While you pray, I am already moving. While you cry, I am writing the story of restoration. While you see nothing, I have begun working wonders far beyond your understanding. Come boldly, my child. Come before me, not with hesitation, but with the humility and courage of one who knows they are deeply loved. You do not come to me because you are worthy, but because I have made a way for you through my unconditional love. Your faith does not need to be perfect, only sincere. Tell me everything: your joys, your sorrows, your anger, your regrets, even the things you do not understand. I will not turn you away. I will not scold you. I will embrace you, listen to you, and act according to the eternal love I have had for you since before time began. When you raise your voice, you are not only changing your life, You are opening a path for life to flow into this world. Your prayers will shatter the darkness. They will become the very instruments I use to heal families, rekindle hope in communities, and awaken sleeping souls. Never think your prayers are small. A single request filled with faith can shake heaven and stir the earth. When you pray, I am ready to act. When you speak to me, the heavens move to carry out my will on the earth. Child, the time has come for you to remain silent no more. The time has come for you to rise in holy boldness and speak to me about the burdens on your heart. Cry out for the souls of the suffering, for hearts that have grown cold, for a world that is dry and starving for true love. I am calling forth a generation that knows how to pray, not out of obligation, but from a deep longing to meet me, to see heaven touch the earth. And you, my beloved child, are part of that generation. You were not born to be silent in this moment. You were created to be an intercessor, to offer bold prayers, to work alongside me in the restoration of nations. Pray not only for yourself, but for those around you. Let your heart expand as mine, full of mercy, full of forgiveness, and ablaze with desire to see every soul saved. Stand in the gap between despair and hope, between darkness and light, between pain and healing. You are the voice crying in the wilderness, the flame burning in the night, the living reminder that I am still alive, still listening, and still moving. And as you pray, according to my Spirit's leading, you will see power poured out not as you expect, but as I have determined. You may not see it immediately, but be steadfast, for I have not forgotten a single word you have spoken in faith. Every sigh of your soul is remembered by me. Every tear you've cried is gathered by me, and the day will come, the moment when I will fill your heart with answers, with healing, with radiant restoration so glorious that you will no longer be able to remain silent, but will cry out with joy, Father, you are so good. So, my child, do not hesitate and do not hold back. Come near to me. Speak. Believe. Pray. Do not delay. The time is now. The moment for action is the present. Let your lips never cease to call out. Let your heart never cease to be stirred by my presence. For I am waiting to move. I am ready to pour out life, healing, and restoration upon you and upon the generation in which you live. And through your prayers, my light will shine brightly. My love will reach into every corner of humanity, and my name will be glorified forever. My beloved child, when you come to me with sincerity and place your whole trust in me, I not only listen, but I uphold you with my strong and loving arms. Every time you say, Father, I surrender all my burdens, all my fears, all my doubts, you are making a powerful declaration, an act of complete surrender, in which you place your soul, your dreams, and your pain into the hands of the one who created you. You no longer need to carry these things alone, for I am here, ready to lift everything that weighs down your heart and replace it with peace that surpasses all understanding. Child, this world will never stop sowing seeds of doubt, fear, and confusion into your heart. What your eyes see may cause you to stumble. What your ears hear may cause you to lose heart. But if you choose to place your trust in me, then you are choosing to walk a higher road, a firmer path, full of hope. You do not need to understand everything, nor do you need to control every outcome, for I am the one who sees all, knows all, and holds all things in my hand. You need only to believe that in every moment, I am silently working for your good, even when you cannot feel it. My beloved child, gently lay down the burdens you have carried for far too long. Do not try to bear them any longer on your own. Do not keep in your heart the worries that steal your sleep, the thoughts that confuse your mind, the questions with no answers that wear down your soul. Come to me and say, Father, these are the things I can no longer carry. I give them to you, and I will take them without hesitation, without delay, for I love you more than you can imagine. And there is nothing in your heart too small or too tangled for me to care about. My child, when you choose to cast all your worries upon me, you are stepping into the freedom I have prepared for you. It is not an escape from reality, but an acknowledgement that reality is only a small part of the grand design I am unfolding in your life. You are not meant to fight alone. You are not meant to peer into the unknown future through a lens of fear. You do not need to have all the answers. What I desire from you is simply this: choose to trust me each day, each hour, each breath. When you release your need to control, you will see my hand move. When you stop relying on your own limited understanding, you will begin to see the path I have for you clearer and brighter than ever before. Believe, my child, that I never lead you into darkness to abandon you there. Everything I do is rooted in love for you. Even the trials, the waiting, the deep valleys, they will all come together to weave a radiant tapestry of life, of love, of hope. And you will look back one day and proclaim, Father, you have been so good. Do not be troubled when you cannot understand everything. Do not be discouraged when things do not go your way. For when you let go of trying to comprehend everything through your limited mind, you will see my gentle, wise guidance in every small detail. I will never let you walk in blindness, but I will lead your every step with unchanging love and steadfast faithfulness. If you are willing to listen and open your heart, you will notice my guidance in the gentle whispers within your soul, in doors that open at the right time, and even in the ones that close to protect you from what is not meant for you. My beloved, your life is not just a survival journey. I did not create you to simply make it through day by day. I created you to live fully, joyfully, freely in my presence. And that life begins when you trust me completely. No longer will you be bound by fear, by anxiety, by the quiet doubts that creep in at night. You will walk in the light of trust, in a peace not given by the world, and in the fullness of joy that comes from knowing I hold your future in my hands. So now, my child, in this very moment, do something simple yet powerful. Place your hand over your heart and say, Father, I trust you. Remind your soul that I am still reigning, still watching over you, still moving on your behalf. And whenever fear threatens to rise, return to the quiet place and say, I do not lean on my own understanding. I choose to acknowledge you in all my ways. Then you will see every step you take will no longer feel lost. You will see a path unfold, a light to guide you, and a love that never leaves. I am faithful, your unshakable refuge, the one who never changes in a world that constantly does. And you, my precious child, are invited to live in the rest of faith, in the safety of surrender, in the sweetness of communion with me. Every day, every breath, you can choose to believe. And every time you choose to believe, you draw closer to the abundant life I ordained for you from the very beginning. You are not alone, not forgotten, not abandoned. You are my child, and I, almighty and full of mercy, am holding you forever. My beloved child, listen deeply to what I speak within your heart, for I know every battle you are facing in your mind. I see the doubts that creep in through the long nights, and I hear the deceitful whispers that try to confuse you. But today, you have chosen courage. You have chosen to rise, to turn your back on the lies of the enemy, on the poisonous voices that keep insisting that healing is out of reach, that you will forever live in despair, that your current circumstances are your unchangeable fate. My child, that very choice to reject everything contrary to my word has opened a door to a new life, a land of hope that I prepared for you since the beginning. My child, the enemy of your soul has but one strategy: to plant fear and doubt, so that you question my promises, question my love, and ultimately question your identity as my child. But you did not let yourself be deceived. You boldly rejected the whispers that said, "You are unworthy. You will never change. God does not hear you. That healing is for others, not for you." Those words do not come from me. They come from the place of darkness, where truth does not dwell, where destruction reigns. But you, my child, you chose light. You chose truth. You chose to stand firmly on the rock of my promise, and that is what makes heaven rejoice. I am the one who has spoken, and my word never returns void. It goes forth and bears fruit, bringing life, healing, restoration, and hope. I do not say one thing and then change. I do not promise and then forget. Not one word from my mouth falls to the ground in vain, for I am not a man that I should regret, nor a son of man that I should take back what I have spoken. If I have declared that you will be healed, then that healing is real. It is for you. It has already been given, not because you have done enough, but because I am abundantly good. My child, your faith must not be built on emotions or circumstances, but anchored in my unchanging faithfulness. When you see your weakness, fix your eyes on my strength. When you feel surrounded by darkness, lift your head and trust that my light is still shining. When the voice inside you says, "This is impossible," you must reply, "But my Father has spoken, and He never breaks His promises." Healing does not come from your ability, but from my loving, powerful, faithful nature. It does not change with time, nor fade with circumstances, nor depend on how you feel. It only requires one thing. Will you dare to believe me? And today, I see your heart opening bravely, simply, yet powerfully to say, "I choose to believe." That very declaration has shaken the heavens, has made darkness tremble, and has set angels into motion for your sake. You are stepping into new territory where you no longer live by what you see, but by what I have spoken, and that is the path to freedom, to true healing, to the abundant life I have set apart for you. Remember, my child, that every time you choose to believe my word, you are breaking an invisible chain. Every time you refuse to believe the lies, you push the darkness one step farther. And every time you speak my word with a trusting heart, my power pours over you anew. I do not require perfection from you. I only ask for honesty and courage. Courage to say no to what is false. Courage to say yes to what is true. And courage to stand firm in faith, even when everything around seems to deny it. My child, keep my word in your heart. Let it be the lamp for your steps, the shelter you run to when the storm comes. Keep declaring it, singing it, praying with it. For that word is life, is the living bread, is the pure water for your thirsty soul. When you hold on to my word, you hold a treasure that cannot be stolen. When you place your faith in it, you are walking a path no force of darkness can block. And when you say, "If my Father has spoken, surely he will do it," then the heavens open and I, your faithful Father, begin to act according to your faith. Therefore, my child, continue to live in this unwavering assurance. Walk each step in the light of the promise. Let faith be the wind that lifts you beyond all limits. And whenever you feel weak, return to me, where you will be reminded that you are not alone, that my word still stands firm, that the promise is still advancing toward its fulfillment. I love you with an everlasting love. I chose you not because you were strong, but so that I might become your strength. Live with a childlike faith, no calculation, no doubt, just a simple trust that I have spoken, and I will fulfill, and in that simplicity, you will witness the miraculous, for my word, once sent forth, shall not return until it has accomplished all that I have purposed. Take hold of this truth and live in joy, for I am the one who never breaks a promise. My beloved child, I see your heart, a heart that not only seeks peace for yourself, but one that opens wide with love for your brothers and sisters who are suffering, who are surrounded by fear, anxiety, depression, and invisible chains imprisoning their souls in darkness. I hear clearly the earnest cries of your heart, and that very yearning has touched mine. Out of love, you have pleaded for those who no longer have the strength to cry out for themselves. And I, full of mercy and power, never ignore a sincere prayer lifted in faith and compassion. My child, in today's world, many walk as if they are free, but inside they carry heavy chains unseen by others. They smile while harboring silent fractures within. They live among crowds, yet feel as though they are sinking into loneliness and despair. Some are suffocating under unnamed fears, tormented by unseen enemies who imprison their minds in the night. But that is not my will. I created every soul to live in freedom, in light, and in the fullness of my love. I did not create anyone to dwell in perpetual pain or to carry burdens I have already borne on their behalf. Therefore, when you pray in the name of my beloved Son, Jesus Christ, who has crushed every power of darkness under his feet, then that power begins to move. The name of Jesus is not merely a sound. It is the authority of heaven. It is the fire that consumes all chains. It is the light that dispels all shadows. When his name is declared in faith, no force can stand. Oppressive spirits will tremble. Bondage must dissolve, for he is the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the one who came to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor, to open the eyes of the blind, to set the captives free, and to crown the mourning with a crown of beauty in place of ashes. My child, I am pleased when you believe in that power, not only for yourself, but also for others. You have offered me a prayer that reflects the very heart of the Savior, a prayer not selfish, not narrow, but filled with love and mercy. You have understood that the healing I give is not reserved for a few, but for all who call on my name. My peace is not a fleeting emotion, but a firm foundation that holds fast in storms. My joy is not the product of circumstance, but the fruit of holy presence, and the wholeness I give does not merely patch what is broken, but restores completely every part of the soul that has been wounded. So continue to pray in this way. Keep offering your intercession as a fragrant offering before the throne of grace. Every word you speak, when offered in faith, becomes a force that pushes back the darkness. Every declaration of the name of Jesus, when spoken with trust, unlocks doors long sealed shut. Do not stop. Even if you do not see immediate results, do not grow discouraged. For your prayers are never lost. They rise like incense before me, preserved and poured out at the appointed time in my way. And in the best moment I have ordained, my child, when you pray for others, you are partnering with me in the plan to redeem and restore all humanity. You become an extension of my love, a voice for those silenced by pain. And when you pray, let the captives be set free. Le peace replace turmoil. Let joy take the place of sorrow. I too am saying, yes, my beloved child, I am willing and I am moving, for my will is always to heal, always to deliver, always to bring life where death once ruled. Believe that your words do not vanish into emptiness. They carry power, for the prayer that springs from a heart full of love and places full trust in me will never be rejected. I will use your very words to shake down walls of separation, to burst open prison gates, to ignite hope in hearts thought extinguished. You are not alone in this battle. For every prayer you speak is an arrow that strikes directly at the heart of darkness. And my angels are moving in response to your cry. My beloved child, continue to pray with bold faith. Continue to stand on behalf of the weak, and know that I am with you, listening, acting, and doing far beyond all you could ask or imagine. You are the light I have kindled to shine in the night. You are the salt of the earth, the bearer of good news. Walk forward, even if by small steps, but with steadfast faith, for where there is sincere prayer, there is my presence, and where my presence dwells, there is freedom, healing, life, and eternal joy. My beloved child, today I see within you a precious decision, a surrender that is not merely passing words, but a true act of the heart, woven with faith, humility, and the longing to walk with me all your days. When you place your life into my hands, you do not lose yourself. You rediscover your true essence, a child created in my image, a soul destined for glory, for freedom, and for abundant life in my eternal love. My child, when you choose to walk in obedience, you are declaring to the world that you no longer live for the flesh or by the limited wisdom of man. You proclaim that your life is no longer ruled by emotion, by circumstances, or by the lies of the enemy. Instead, you choose to place each step on the solid foundation of my word, living and powerful, unchanging, the word that created all things and continues to sustain your soul every day. That obedience is not a burden, but the path to true freedom, the key that opens the door to peace, the place where you find full joy in my love. I delight when you decide to guard your heart, for from it flows all the springs of life. This world has too many voices that harden the heart, that lead to surrender, that rob innocence and trust. But my child, when you place your soul in my care, when you allow me to watch over your every thought, emotion, and decision, then your heart becomes a secret garden where my presence dwells, where peace begins to bloom, where truth grows strong, and where no root of darkness can ever take hold again. You choose to renew your mind. That means you refuse to live by old patterns, by thoughts that once bound and wounded you. You decide not to let painful memories, past failures, or negative words define you any longer. Instead, you allow my word to shape your mind each day, so that you may be transformed from within to become more like me in every thought, every desire, and every action. When you speak words of life, you are sowing seeds of heaven in a world filled with groaning, brokenness, and despair. Every word you speak, if it flows from a heart full of truth and love, can bring healing, encouragement, and light into a soul fading in darkness. Never underestimate the power of your words, my child, for your tongue holds the power of life and death, and you have chosen life. This brings unspeakable joy to my heart. You promise to live a holy life, not to be better than others, but to become more like the one who loves you. Holiness is not a burden, but a loving response to the overwhelming love I have given you. It is in holiness that you will clearly see my face. It is in holiness that you will experience my sweetest and deepest presence. You have been called to be holy, for I am holy. You have chosen not to return to what once bound you, and that is precious. For when you know where true freedom comes from, you will no longer crave what is false. The old chains, the old ways, the temptations of the world, they are but shadows of death. And, my child, when you step out of darkness into the light, you have chosen the path of life, of truth, and of glory. I rejoice when you choose not to listen to the lies of the enemy, for he is a deceiver, casting doubt on my love, making people question their worth. But you have known the truth, and the truth has made you free. When you refuse to reopen doors, I have already closed doors of the past, of sin, of wounds. You are protecting your soul from what I have already delivered you from. Do not return to the place I brought you out from. Do not willingly re-enter what I fought to rescue you from. The freedom you now have is too costly. It was purchased by the very blood of my beloved Son, Jesus Christ. You choose to walk in the light that is the path of faithful children. In the light, there is no hiding, no place for darkness to dwell. When you walk in the light as I am in the light, you will never lose your way, for that light shines upon each step you take and keeps you from stumbling. In that light, you see yourself clearly, and you also see me, the one who walks with you, guiding your every step, never letting go of your hand for even a moment. And finally, you choose to abide in me, and I in you. This is the sacred union that nothing on this earth can compare with. When you are in me, you will never be alone. When I am in you, you will always have a source of unending strength. This is a deep and eternal relationship that no circumstance, no trial, no enemy can sever. Guard this communion with faith, with love, and with daily obedience. For in me, you will find everything life, joy, wholeness, and a future full of hope that I have prepared just for you from before the foundation of the world. Amen. As a child of God, He is always by your side in every moment, to remind you to live in faith and in His steadfast love. Follow and turn on notifications so you never miss a word. I speak from the heights of heaven. Amen.